Hi everybody, welcome back to Making Stuff with Mrs. Baroody. I'm Mrs. Baroody, and today we're going to build off our grid skills from the last video and make a board game. Now our board game, not really going to be on a board, we're going to do it on a piece of paper, but you can always take that idea, turn it into a real board game. You're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil and a ruler, probably an eraser, and then you'll need some coloring supplies, but we'll talk about that later. I'm super excited to see what you guys come up with, so let's get started. All right, ladies and gents, getting right down to it. If you have not watched our video on how to make a grid, I'd recommend going back and watching that. Just a quick recap, but if you really want to know how to do it, I would definitely go back and watch that video. So again, we're going to use our piece of paper and a ruler and a pencil because we can always erase after we make a mistake. I'm going to make sure that I line the ruler up with the edge of the paper carefully, and then very light lines because we're going to be erasing a lot of these lines. So really lightly. We're going to draw lines down our paper, and we're going to make a whole bunch of columns. Then we're going to turn our paper and do the exact same thing. And we're going to line it up with the side. We're going to make lines down. So now we have columns and rows, and that'll give us boxes. So I cheated and already did it. Bam! So now I have a grid to start with my board game. Now when we play board games, usually we have to roll a dice and then we move a certain amount of spaces. And we don't want to fill up the whole thing with spaces. It wouldn't be very interesting to look at. It wouldn't be very fun to play. So for this, I'm going to recommend around 50 squares. On my paper, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 times 11, around 88 squares. So on this paper, I would need to fill up, like 2/3, 3/4 of it with my board. So I'm going to start here in the lower part, and this is going to be my start. So I'm just going to lightly write start. And then I'm gonna say, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go 5 spaces. Then maybe I'll go up a couple, 1, 2. Then maybe I'll go over a couple. And I'm making little X's so I know which boxes to outline. And my board is gonna kind of zig and zag around my paper. So I'm gonna take a Sharpie marker and I'm gonna, drop the cap. And then I'm gonna outline the squares that I want to use. So I'm gonna be very gentle and careful. And is it okay that it's not perfect? Absolutely. But we don't want our lines to be too wonky. So I'm gonna go nice and slow, and you guys are gonna go even slower than me. See, got a little outside the line. Bummer. Oh, and I messed up. Oh no. That's where I wanted to go up. So now I change my plan and say, all right, I'll just make a line on on the boxes. That helps me out anyway. Well, bam. I'm going to go up and over, bloop, 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 bloop. So now when you have all of your path outlined, then you want to think about your pattern. Now those of you that did the grid project, which all of my current students better have done for a grade. Okay, once I've done this, I'm going to go back through and add colors and create a pattern. So I might do blue, green, blue, green. I might do all the rainbow colors. I might do orange, yellow, red, orange, yellow, red. Whatever makes your heart happy, but it has to be a pattern, which means it has to repeat. Okay, so you can start seeing my path building. Awesome. So it's gonna zig and zag and zig and zag until I get to the end. Maybe I'll make that one nice and big. And this is finish. Awesome. So whatever you use to color in your paper, I'd recommend I'd recommend marker or colored pencil. If you use crayon and color these in, then you can't come back and add in directions. So when you play Candyland, sometimes you get a card or you land on a space that says go backwards or go forwards or go to a certain spot. When I play some other games like Sorry, you pull a certain card, you get to bump someone out of your space and take it over. So think about those board games that you've played and what different things you could put here for your directions. So after I've made my grid, I've outlined my boxes, I'm going to erase my extra boxes, and then I'm going to come through and add color. So my finished project might look a little something like this, right? So here's my start. I used blue and green for my pattern, and I put some, not so good things. Lose one turn, bummer. Skip ahead 2 spaces, roll again. So as they move through my game, the people playing it will have different things that they can do. Now this is kind of boring, it's just some colors. On my back space, I could add some characters. I could maybe, if I wanted to make this like Candyland, I could make some candy back there. Maybe this is Pizza World and you're trying to save Princess Pizza. I don't know, maybe you're drawing Princess Pizza up there. Please, somebody make Princess Pizza. I really want to see that game. So when you have all your little words on there written nice and neatly, then you can play your game. And in my classroom, when we played it, we didn't have specific characters, but I did find a bunch of dinosaur characters that I had. So my people put their dinosaurs on the start, and then to help with sanitizing things, we put our dice in these little bins, these little containers. So then we roll and say, oh, I get to go 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then my opponent's turn, and they move their dinosaur. So my current students, I need to see a picture of this uploaded. You can put it on our Google Classroom. You can email it to me. You could even show it to me during our office hours, or bring it to school if your parents are bringing something else, okay? Whatever you do, make sure that you're being creative, you are being kind, and you're being safe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.